What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Vault Goblin, and today I'm coming in with a really sick quad KEM with the M27 LMG, brought to you guys by Vault Charlie. He gets about 143 kills this game, and he goes absolutely in, you know. He's sitting here toting around this heavy-ass LMG, probably weighs, I don't know, like 20-30 pounds. All these motherfuckers on the other team getting shat on. They're carrying around their little pussy-ass SMGs, and Charlie doesn't give a fuck. He just goes in with that LMG, so definitely check himself and myself out in the description below. And without further ado, since this is only about 6 minutes long, I don't have the most time in the world, so I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into my story today. So the story I'm telling you guys today is basically the first time that I ever saw boobs in person. And this is going to sound weird when I say how old I was or what grade I was in when this happened, but just hear me out on this, alright? So this happened when I was in 2nd grade, actually, and I was only like 7 or 8 years old or some shit like that. I wasn't like, you know, old because I was in 2nd grade, of course. And the even weirder part was this actually happened with a classmate. So they didn't actually have, I guess you could say, boobs yet, but, you know, it was still, you know, the location where they would be, well, it was there. So, you know, I just kind of count that, I guess, and it's kind of a funny story, so I just figured like sharing it nevertheless. So basically, to give you guys a kind of rundown of how this came to be, every year our school would send everybody in every grade on a field trip to the zoo, and I was in 2nd grade, so we were actually the second kids to go. Kindergartners didn't go because they couldn't trust those little motherfuckers. They'd be climbing into gorilla, you know, cages and shit. They just get eaten. So basically, 1st graders went the first day, and it was during the last week of school, so basically all 5 days a different grade would go, leading up to the 5th graders on the last day. So we were second, so we went on a Tuesday, and what happened was, we were, you know, just casually chilling out. We got assigned our little groups with, like, different parent chaperones and stuff, and everything was going just, you know, wow, amazing, fantastic on this field trip so far. We were all excited, hyped up, jumping up and down in the single file line and all that bullshit, and I was in a group with this girl that I actually had a crush on, and her name, we're just gonna make up a fake name. We're going to call her Shelly, alright? Shelly I had a crush on, and, you know, I had a crush on her throughout pretty much the entirety of elementary school, which made this day just that much more special because I saw my crush's titties before anyone else did. So that was definitely A+, you know, round of applause for me. Clap it up, boys. Let's go. Good job, Goblin. So anyways, basically, you know, we boarded the bus, and we had to actually sit with our people in our groups, and we had to sit with our chaperones and stuff, so it was kind of lame, but, I mean, at the same time, I saw titties, so I don't give a fuck. But we actually got assigned partners within those groups because every group had like 6 people, I think. And my partner was, of course, Shelly, girl I liked. So I was like, even better. Let's go. I'm going to get some pussy today. I'm going to hit her DMs in 2nd grade. I'm going to get her kick. I'm going to get her number. I'm going to get all that. Going to go fuck her this weekend. You know, all that good shit. So I was happy. I was very happy. And, you know, zoo field trip. And it was actually around the time that all those like cicadas were out. I think that's what those were called. There's those bugs that come out every like 9 years or some crazy bullshit. And, you know, they're like really weird and they're really loud. So all you ever hear is that constant buzzing. I don't know what they're called. I think they're called cicadas. If I'm not correct, then comment saying what they really are. If you know, if you don't know, then just call them cicadas like me, and I'll fucking know. So we got to the zoo, and it was loud as hell. You know, it was like, you know, kids covering their ears and shit. We went through the zoo, nothing special really happened. You know, we saw some rhino like shit on the ground or something, which was absolutely the most priceless, hilarious thing of all time. To a 2nd grader, we were just absolutely just hilarious. That was amazing. Like a rhino shit. Holy fuck, that was amazing. Like, hey mom, a rhino took a shit. That's fucking hilarious, isn't it? Like, holy shit. You know, like, that was just, like, 2nd grade, that's comedy gold right there. So that was basically the, like, highlight of the field trip up until the bus ride back. And, you know, we'd stay there for most of the day, so it was almost the time where we'd be going home normally. I think we actually got back to school a little late, because we got back to school around, like, I want to say 3:45, and we normally got out around, like, 3:30. So we, on our, like, bus ride back, you know, we counted everyone off. No one got lost. Everything was A-okay, you know. No motherfuckers climbed in the gorilla cage and got eaten or anything like that. Everything was A+. You know, we were just chilling on the way back, and nothing happened, you know. Well, I guess this happened, but, you know, leading up to this, nothing happened. It was all, you know, chill. Everyone was kind of quiet because we were all tired from running around the zoo all day, and we were all, you know, sweaty-ass little fucking 2nd graders. And, you know, the girl that I had a crush on that was sitting next to me, we were friends, and we would actually talk a lot in class and stuff. So, you know, on the bus ride back, she kind of, like, relied on talking to me to, like, you know, keep ourselves entertained. But my buddy Jack, who was actually in the row across from me, because we were actually in the very back row of the bus, and our chaperone was 2 rows up, my buddy Jack, you know, we kind of had a different idea. We were like, alright, we're gonna fuck with Shelly. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna straight up talk to each other and just talk across the aisle and pretend she's not even there. And I had the window seat, and then she had the aisle seat, and my buddy Jack had the aisle seat, and this other kid named Riley was sitting next to Jack in the window seat. And so I was leaning forwards, and then Jack leaned forwards, and we were talking, just kind of avoiding like eye contact with Shelly, because she kept kind of like leaning forwards and trying to like get in front of my face so I couldn't talk to Jack, and I just kept kind of juking her out, all those spin moves and shit, smacking her the fuck up, punched her in the face, knocked her out because she was trying to get in my way. Nah, but eventually, she got really frustrated. She was kind of pushing me and shoving me really hard into the window, but I didn't care. I was just kind of laughing, and she was like, "Nick, talk to me," and I was like, what the fuck? And I was just kind of ignoring her, and then all of a sudden she just like pulls her shirt up out of nowhere, and it was for a split second. I swear to God, this seemed like ages, but it really only lasted a couple seconds, honestly. And then maybe like 2-3 seconds later, after I'd stopped talking to Jack, and I was like, all right, titties got my attention. From a young age, I was already chasing these thoughties, and she just pulled her shirt back down, and she just kind of started laughing. I'm like, all right, bro, I see you out there. And then we kind of stayed silent the rest of the bus ride, because honestly, we didn't really know what to say to her. So I was occasionally cracking a joke and saying something, but otherwise I was just like, bruh, I just saw some titties, and I got home, and my dad picked me up, and I was like, Dad, I saw some fucking titties, bro. I just fucked her in the ass right on the bus. And he was like, nice job, son. Nah, but either way, just thought that was a fun little story to share since I don't have much time. Check out Charlie and myself, in the description below, and let's go for 150 likes on this video. So smack the shit out of the like button, sub to me and Charlie, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.